Live from Augusta. You're watching News 12 live at 5.
Get ready for a cold night. Good evening. I'm Meredith Anderson. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. Your first alert chief meteorologist Riley Hale is talking 30s and even 20s maybe. Riley, it is time to bring out the heavy coats, the hats, scarves, whatever else we have.
I know, Mary. If you're going to be out tonight, early tomorrow morning, we are expecting those temps to be sub-freezing, most likely finding...
All right, thanks, Riley. Even if it were warm enough to go for a run along the Augusta Canal, the path is still closed, and it's going to be for a while. Leaders say it will cost millions to fix the damage there Helene caused, and even with FEMA's help, it looks like it won't reopen until May. Your Sydney Hood joins us live at 5 with why this is taking so long and costing so much. Sydney.
Well, what many people may not realize is that about 100 trees fell down due to Hurricane Helene. Some of these trees actually fell into the canal, and then there are parts of the canal embankment that are broken right now. Take a look at it for yourself. We flew our drone down the path for a little bit, and you can see the piles of debris and those trees that are still down. Now, leaders tell me what they're dealing with right now is there are parts of that canal embankment anywhere between 40 to 50 feet that are at risk of falling right now. So that really is the main reason why they have this 3.5-mile stretch of the canal blocked off. It's for safety reasons.
The second piece is a lot of broken trees that are hanging limbs and actually half-fallen trees that are over the towpath that I think a lot of people aren't paying attention to. And so we need to get those cut and cleared, and we met with the debris contractor again this morning, and we're going to have a separate conversation with our FEMA reps in order to see if those are all eligible for reimbursement.
Director Bond says their next step is they'll actually have to drain the canal to get these trees out, and he says total cost-wise for all of this fixing the canal could be up to $10 million. But the other message he wants to get out to folks is if you come across and you see this fence right here, you see the sign that says the towpath is closed, he wants you to follow these signs because, again, like he says, the reason that they have this stretch closed off is for your own safety.
And you just don't realize how dangerous it could be, how the embankment is crumbling or cracked, and also those tree limbs. A lot to clean up. Thanks for giving us an insight into why it's taking so long. The North Augusta Greenway, by the way, getting closer to being fully restored. Mayor Britton Williams said 75% of roads in North Augusta are owned by SCDOT. So they can't do anything about those. What they are doing in North Augusta, those leaders are focusing on what they can control and what they can clean up, like the Greenway. A recovery resource fair in Augusta just wrapped up at Payne College, of course, which was also hit hard by Helene. More than a dozen organizations and agencies were on hand, and also gave people a chance to ask questions face-to-face in person. If you missed the event and you still haven't signed up for FEMA aid, you have until January 7th.
I cannot stress enough just how crucial it is to register with FEMA before that January the 7th deadline. Registering puts you in our system to ensure that you may be eligible for any potential assistance to help with home repairs, temporary housing, and any other disaster-related needs. And even if you do have insurance, there could be gaps that FEMA could help with. And missing that January the 7th deadline could mean that you are missing out on valuable support and resources.
You don't want to do that. We also premiered CSRA Strong Path to Recovery, a 30-minute special with agencies helping the recovery in the region. You can watch that and see more information on finding FEMA centers in person and how to apply for aid on our website or our WRDW app. Developing in the last hour, a former U.S. Air Force airman has been sentenced to 7 years. Developing in the last hour, a former U.S. Air Force airman has been sentenced to 7 years in federal prison. 33-year-old Jacob Christian Butler from Augusta pleaded guilty to possession of child pornography. Court documents say Butler was a first-class airman assigned to Fort Eisenhower with a high level of security clearance. He will have to register as a sex offender and serve 15 years of supervised release when he gets out of prison.
By this time next, lawmakers will take up state agencies' budget requests soon after they gavel back into session here in January. State Superintendent of Education Ellen Weavers includes $5 million for a strategic pay pilot program for teachers.
I think that is the next stage of this teacher compensation conversation is how we create differentiated pay to modernize the teacher pay scale so that we are really attracting our best teachers to our areas of greatest need.
Among the Department of Education's other budget requests is a $30 million ask to expand summer reading camps to target thousands of younger students before they fall behind on reading. Another $13 million would go toward a new project focused in rural areas to prepare students for careers in fields like computer science, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and electric vehicle manufacturing. Weaver is also asking for $100 million to start an education infrastructure bank. It would help rural schools without a strong tax base pay for much needed building improvements, making permanent an initiative started by Weaver's predecessor, former Superintendent Molly Spearman.
We have a growing charter school sector here in South Carolina, and right now charter schools do not have access to either facilities or transportation funds, and so this could be a way to, in addition to addressing the needs of our traditional districts, especially in rural communities, begin to address the needs of our charter schools as well.
Weaver's budget request also includes $30 million for the Education Scholarship Trust Fund program, which is also known as the School Voucher Program. Right now, that money cannot be spent on private school tuition, following a ruling from the state Supreme Court a few months ago. But Republican lawmakers say one of their top priorities here next year will be passing legislation to allow that spending, and it has Weaver's support. Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
Meanwhile, on the teacher pay front, Governor Henry McMaster has repeatedly said he wants the statewide minimum up to $50,000 by 2026. We asked the governor's office if McMaster plans to match Weaver's goal to get that target a year early. They said the governor will make his announcement about teacher pay when he unveils his executive budget in January. And of course, we will be watching. Christmas Day is 13 days away, and Santa is already making the rounds in North Augusta. The Public Safety Fire Division is providing the community its third annual Santa Run. This evening around 6 o'clock, Santa will be riding one of the fire engines and visiting the Walnut Lane neighborhood. The Santa Run is set to continue until Saturday, December 21st. Good for them to let them use fire trucks as a sleigh. The Whale Week celebration is happening in Tybee Island. How they are raising awareness for the Georgia official marine mammal in just a moment. Riley?
It's going to be a cold night. Protect your pets. We are dropping below freezing tonight into early tomorrow morning, but that's really the only night below freezing over the next 7. Have a look at our warming trend just after the break.
Prominent connections.
Wow, talk about a roller coaster. Thanks, Riley. Whale Week is being celebrated at Tybee Island. Every December, the North Atlantic right whale returns home to coastal Georgia to give birth. This month is particularly important because the state's official marine mammal is at risk of extinction. NOAA has proposed some amendments to some federal investigations, but the top risk for whales, it remains the same through winter and spring.
We want people to be aware that they are here in the wintertime, starting in late November. They come down through April. Mama's coming down to have her baby and have her calf. So we are a nursery for her here. And these animals are critically endangered. Getting entangled in fishing gear and getting struck by vessels are going to be their biggest threats.
Just another reason to be careful anytime you go out to the ocean or in a boat or to the beach this spring. Also, keep an eye peeled for them. Ahead of Christmas, South Carolina inmates helped package gifts for his fellow inmates. One of them did. Kiana Jordan shows us how that provides a chance for rehabilitation and hope.
You know, it's actually just a joy to be able to get out for the day and be around other people and see something different.
For 2 years in a row now, an inmate in the state prison system has volunteered at the South Carolina Baptist Convention, packing up thousands of hygiene gift bags for his fellow inmates. It's a privilege, he says, reminds him of what it's like to be free.
Being able to be a part of something like this is a positive thing. We feel like we're part of the community today. We're not only receiving something, we're actually part of the giving part of it.
And Tuesday morning, hundreds of volunteers from Baptist churches across the state, chaplains with the State Department of Corrections, and inmates packing up those bags, including toothbrushes, toothpaste, notebooks, deodorant, and something sweet.
One of the reasons I know that these gifts are important to the inmates is that every year we have formerly incarcerated individuals come pack up gifts with us.
Incarcerated for 8.5 years. I got out in December last year. Candace Beasley is one of those volunteers, and during her time in prison, Beasley said the gift bags were a welcome token of holiday cheer.
It definitely is a time where you have to depend on others, and this is one of the things that made it a little bit easier.
Volunteers packaged 17,125 gift packages on Tuesday, and chaplains from every state prison will pick up the bags Wednesday and distribute them to inmates.
To let them know that God loves them and we love them too.
A nice thing that they're doing, and it's also great inmates helping inmates. The holiday season can lead to increased strain when it comes to tipping. Some experts have some advice on who you should tip after the break.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Dear Santa, all my mom wanted for Christmas was a green box, so I made her these ones. It seemed like a really boring gift, so I was hoping you could leave her something inside to make it super special. I hope you enjoy your cookies and milk. Sincerely, Bella.
There are moments in life that stick with you forever, for better and for worse. During a moment like this, you need to call all nines. I'm attorney George Sink. When the moment comes, make the call. George Sink Injury Lawyers is there for you 24/7. Just call 999-9999. We'll help you with your worst moments so you can get back to the better ones. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, make the call. All nines. That's 999-9999.
It's the one thing